Okay, right now to go from this to this particular kind of visual we have right here right now, what we need is just for we to use an external tool to have a template created, which is called PowerPoint. I believe 90% or even 99% of people owning a laptop will definitely have PowerPoint installed as soon as you have Microsoft Excel existing on your PC. If you don't have it, you're missing something. Go ahead and have PowerPoint installed right now, and let's create this particular nice template from here. Okay, what do you do for the first time? We have to make sure we have the same size as what we have right now. Let's do it. For we to be on the same page, click on this visual and come right here. Then you come to General and go to Property. So this is where we have to actually do the magic right now. So we have to change the height to 273. 273. That is the height, and the weight should be changed to 615. That is all you need. So let us apply the same thing to this one right here. So here is gonna be 273. Yeah, we're gonna do that by this particular 615. So that is gonna be what we need to do for now. And the next thing to do, apply another height and weight on right now is this particular one right here. So once you have it selected, click right here and go to General, go to Property, and here we're gonna have to make this one to be 176. 176. And we're gonna make that by 250. So don't worry about how it looks right now. So click right here. I'm gonna make this one 176, and here we're gonna have to make it 250. So I'm gonna have to come right here as well. I'm gonna make this one 176. So this time around, this one has to be 260. It's gonna be 264. 264. So we have something like this. So it doesn't look very cool at all. So what I'm going to do right now is to make sure I bring this one closer. But before then, we have to start to actually make some transformation. The color, the headers, and how they all look is what we have to take into consideration right now. Where do we start from? Let us start from the left-hand corner. I love this chart a lot. I don't know why. Okay, the first thing we have to do right now is to actually do the transformation by removing some part of the axis. So once you actually have it on highlight, so you can actually make sure you close the property, come to the visual area right here. So you have to understand the difference between the x-axis and the y-axis. So if you don't understand, make sure you actually turn this off, and now you know where the x-axis is the one beneath this particular part right here. So if you turn it back on, you can see it appeared right now. So what do we want to do on the x-axis? So you have to have it opened and turn off the title. So you don't have the title any longer. That is beautiful. We can definitely make sure we change this particular one to something bold that people can see. Beautiful, huh? Now we can go ahead and close this because we are done with that. And now for the y-axis, we don't want to see anything at all on the y-axis, but if we go ahead and turn it off right now, what do we see? We still have the title, which means it's not a good way. So what we can do is to turn it back on and have it open. First of all, go ahead and turn off the title, and now we can turn off it totally. Beautiful, huh? Okay, what is the next thing to do? We can close it, and now we have the legend right here. So click on the legend, and once you have the legend clicked, so what you can do is to move it to the top level, which is the top center. So we can check the text and we can just make it bold. This is gonna be some kind of cool. So we are done from here. The next thing is for we to open General and now come to this particular effect area and turn off the background. I just love something about this. We're going to do this for once and copy it for others and just make a little tweak. That is all we have to do. So once we are done, we can go ahead and close this, and the title area is where we have to take very serious. So now this is total revenue and revenue lost by month. So I'm going to just add something, I'm going to add made. That is all. So I think we just added something. Okay. let me just do this. Total revenue made by revenue lost on a monthly basis. So something like this. So what is next for us now? We can scroll down and now we can centralize this. So once we've done that, what we can do is to change the font type to something that is going to make a lot of sense. What if we go with this bold, and we're going to have it on 14, leave it the way it is, and the text is going to be on white, and we can't see it right now, so we have to change the background to something that we can see. Can you see it right now? This is beautiful. So our chart looks some kind of very cool right now, but the next thing we're going to do is to change the color to the chart. How do we do that? Very simple and easy. All we have to do is to know what color we want to use for the negative and for the positive. So I have a color code already right here, which actually gives us positive color and negative color. So for positive color, which is where we have the revenue, now we're going to have to copy this from here, and we have to go back to the one we are creating, which is this one. Make sure you click on it, and we can now go ahead to the visual area. So close the legend, and we can locate where we have the column. So for this revenue here is the positive one. I'm going to have to open it, click on this, and have the color code paste right here. If presumably you don't have this particular color code patch on your own, and you're gonna have it, of course, so you can actually type in those codes right on your own. It depends on the version you are running on. I'm using the current version of Power BI, and you should be using the current one as well. Okay, we are done from here. The next one is actually to bring in the negative color code, right? Just copy this, Ctrl+C to copy, and minimize this. Then come right here and make a change to where we have lost revenue, and we can now paste this in right now, and it gives us this. So we're just done from here, and this is beautiful. What happens if we copy this over to this particular place? So let's see what happens right now. I'm gonna have to copy by using the format painter. I'm gonna paste this right here. Now I don't have the color to actually proceed and have itself right here. What is the problem? Because I don't even want it at the first place. So we have average daily rate and percentage of cancellation by month. So I don't really like the way it looks. I'm just gonna have to click on it. I'm gonna come right here, then go to general, and you can click on this particular part and change whatever you want to change right in here. So instead of me to have percentage right here, I just have to come right here on the percentage area. I want to move it. So let's start from here. So I don't know, sorry for that. So I'm just going to type and cancellations. So it's going to be average daily rate and cancellation by month. So we've just gotten this done. That is beautiful. We have to start to do what we've done. And for the cancellation, you can see the cancellation right here. So what I'm going to do right now is to close this and go back here. We have to locate where we have the line right on. So we have the line right here. And quickly I have to scroll down a bit. Once I scroll down, I can see where we have the line color. You can actually make the stroke to look more thicker, just like this. I just want to leave my on 5, and I can go to the color area, open it up, and here we have the color we've used for the negative. Because it's cancellation is not always good. I'm just going to use this color for cancellation as well. So this gives us this particular color, but doesn't look quite right just based on what you're looking forward to seeing. So what about this? How do we actually create the color to look very, very beautiful? So now I'm just going to have to come back right here. This is where I'm going to have to copy this particular code right here for the positive color, because this is actually average rate, average daily rate. It's not something like cancellation or if we lost any revenue right here. So what I'm going to do right now is to go back and make sure I close the line chart. I'm going to go for the column right now. Instead of me to actually use this particular default color area to change the color I want to use, I'm going to actually have to use this particular part right here. So click on this FX. You're going to have this. So we're going to use gradient. So you can open it up and use rule or use field value, but right now I'm going to default it to this particular gradient right here. What I'm going to do right now for the lowest part of it, so I just want to use something like this color. If it is on the low part, it's going to be like this color. If the average daily rate is high, that is where I'm going to have to use this particular color code I've just copied. I'm going to paste it in right here. So watch what happens if I click on OK. It doesn't look alright. Look at what it gives me, because we've not actually, met the condition that will definitely warrant us to see what it is that we want to actually have the view. So what I'm going to do right now, don't click on this, else it's going to cancel out everything you've done right on it. Go back and click on the FX, and now you have to point the measure you want to use for this right on it. So what field should we base this on? So click right here, and now go ahead and open the all measure, and it's going to be our average daily rate. So clicking back right on this particular part right now, this is what it gives us. Now can you see every part of this particular one that looks some kind of this color is actually low. From this particular part right here, here is our main focus, which is July and August. Can you see it right now? So we have it highlighted. We have the average daily rate to be very high right here, and luckily enough we have our cancellation to be low in this particular month. So if you look at it, we only have filter for results and 2016. We don't have filter for August. We can see August and other months compared with the summer right here. So we are done from here. The next thing we're going to do right now is for we to copy the same format we've used for this right on this part and make a little tweak. That is all we have to do. Let me copy this instead. Click on this and click right here, so you will have this. So I don't like what I'm having right here right now, so I have to actually make sure I change what I have right here to look actually cool right for me. So first of all, I'm going to have to move this, and I'm going to have to make it align and bring it down a little bit. So we're going to have to click here and come back to this general title, and we're going to have to actually say this one is cancellation. So cancellation rate. You get it? That is all. So I'm gonna have to copy the same thing, the same formatting for this. So I have to name this one my average daily rate. So I can just take this one off. That is exactly what it is. So we can actually copy the same formatting for this particular part right here. So we have to just take total away from here, and we have just cancellation by weekdays. So what is actually left right now is to see how we can do things accordingly. We're gonna have to make sure we have something like this, and coming right here right now, just move this closer to this. So we create something like this. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to make sure we actually see what we are going to be focusing on right now is 0 to 30 days and 0 to 30 days right here. So let me go to the previous one we've created to see what we've done right there. And now we have cancellation. We always try as much as we could to match the color to cancellation, right? And right here is the average daily rate is high, but doesn't really help anything, but still we still have to use this particular color. So how do we do this? Let us go back here, and starting from is going to be this one, right? So we just have to go ahead and come here and go to columns and scroll down a bit. So we have to go here. So for the lowest, so we're gonna base this one. So if I just move this a little bit right now, So we have cancellation rate, and if I hover over it, it's going to be percentage, but it can't work right now because we have something opened. We are using the percentage, right? So we just have to come right here, open the measure, and percentage of cancellation is what we have to go ahead and actually open. Under the lowest, so under the lowest, I'm gonna have to get the lowest for this, and the highest will always take the one that has to do with the red color. Okay, we just have to come right here and make a change to this color. So we have to change it to this color. Sorry, I think we've used the wrong color right here, which is going to be this something negative because we are dealing with cancellation. So we have to paste this, and that is all. So click OK. Now we have something like this, 0 to 30. Oh, we did the wrong one, so I'm so sorry for this. So we have to rectify this. Coming back right here right now. So we are going to switch the color for this, so we're going to have to use this. And for the lowest right here, we're going to have to do this because that is how we can meet up what we're trying to do. So right now here we have this, and quickly coming back right, close this. So checking the legend, so we have to close the legend. So we're gonna have this. So this is our focus right here, 0 to 30. This is our focus. So we've actually added the cancellation. We have gained right here to this particular part, which is gonna be 79%, and here is gonna be now 62%. In case you're actually thinking of what is going on, why do we have 79% and 62%? I will make you understand by coming to the finished one because I have a measure created to have this explained to you. Let's say I actually have this particular table inserted right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually bring in scroll down. So bring in this list. Yeah, I have this right here. So I'm gonna go back to the top level. So percentage of cancellation and percentage of checked in. So here we have them. Okay, if you look at what is going on right here right now, so from 0 to 30 we have 87% of cancellation and 12 people just checked in. So adding this particular 12% checked in, adding 12.49% to 87.51% gives you 100%. So adding this particular 63.94% to 36.06% will give you 100%. So now don't doubt what happened there. So that is just the best way to explain what it is to you. You get it? So right now on the average daily rate, so the max is going to actually carry this particular color while the mean is going to carry this color. So clicking right on it right now, we have to go ahead and actually create the formatting for it. Scroll down and we check right here. So we quickly go for the max and we give it the color and we go for the mean right here. So we go for this color. So remember, if you want to add mid color, you can actually click on enter add mid color. Click on this one. It's going to actually insert something like this for you. You can choose the color you want to add for the mid color wherever it is. So right now if I click on OK, this is what I'm going to have. So if you look at it, we actually have an error. So I'm going to go back right here and quickly we come right here and we choose this particular part and we select average. Click on OK right now. So we have it switched. I think we made the same mistake right here, which I just remembered. So that is gonna be cancellation. The max, so choosing the max here is not it. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I'm sorry for the mistake. Please, you can actually go ahead and amend this. I just remembered. So we choose this for the color. And for the max right now, we're gonna have to go with this. And if I click, I'm still gonna have the same thing that is being inserted. So what I'm gonna do right now is to quickly go ahead and turn off the legend. So the legend has been turned off. So right here, we have to do the same thing to this. And it's gonna be based on the numbers of cancellation, not on percentage right now. So click right here and we can quickly come for the mean. We want to select this, and for the max we want to go ahead and select the max will carry this particular color. code, and quickly we go ahead and paste the color code right here, and we select for it what it is that we want from the measure. So have it opened, and it's going to be total cancellation. And if I click on OK right now, it gives me that, and quickly all I have to do is to go ahead and turn off the legend for it, and it gives me what I want. And if you want to have the number data label right for it, you can always turn the data label on, and come right here and turn on the data label for this as well. So click right here, go all the way down and turn on the data label. So do the same thing for this as well. So go all the way down and turn on the data label, and for this you can click on it and turn on the data label. So this is what it is, it's showing you right now. So you can see others, but if you actually put it on this particular focus view right now, what do you see? This is what you see. So now here we go. So you can hover over it and see more numbers. Can you see this right now? But I'd always fancy seeing it on the data label, because I'm going to actually create more insight that would make whoever is looking at this to actually get more insight on it. Can you see that? That is beautiful. So we've just gotten this created. It is time for we to actually get this to PowerPoint right now to have something very awesome created from here. So all I'm going to do right now is just to click on this, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm gonna have to click back right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I make a 5 shift, and it's gonna be centralized. So we can make the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can select those 3 together. And what I'm gonna do right now, go to format, and I'm gonna go to align and distribute horizontally. That is it. So you have the same space between this, and that is cool. The first thing we have to do to actually have this created is for we to actually go ahead and take up, bring up this snipping tool. So if you can get your snipping tool right here, what you can do is just to go to your window icon, click on it, and type in our snipping tool. So once you just type in this right now, it's gonna give you this. So here is your snipping tool right here. Is for you to use it to actually take a screenshot, or if you have any other software you can use to actually get a screenshot, you can do that. So watch me as I get my screenshot from here to here. So just get the environment of your dashboard. You've gotten the screenshot. That is beautiful. So I'm gonna come right here right now and file. From file, I'm gonna click on save as. I'm gonna save this into my system. So I want to go to desktop. I'm gonna save this somewhere around where some here. So I'm gonna click on save, replace this. So I'm gonna have to close this for now. We've done that. So I'm gonna come right here. Here is the previous one we've just gotten created. So right now we're gonna create something like this, and all I have to do to create something like this is to actually Ctrl N to insert a new blank slate. That is beautiful. So next is for me to actually get this away from here. We don't need it. So it's gone. So I'm gonna go to insert, and from insert I'm gonna have to go to pictures. From pictures, this device, and that will definitely navigate me to my system desktop. I'm gonna bring in the image I've just taken as a screenshot right now. So clicking on open right is gonna give me this. I'm gonna have to make sure I size it to this particular part right here. I'm gonna have to open it. This is what it is. So we have something like this. What is going to be the next step? The next step is to go to insert. From insert, go to shapes, and from shapes I'm going to actually take this particular rectangle. I'm going to drag it here. I'm going to resize it to this particular part right here. Have it open to this end. I'm going to have to open it up to this particular part right here. That is beautiful, right? So I have to change the color to this right now. What am I gonna do? I'm going to right click on this. I'm gonna go to my format shape. So once I have this, I can move it to anywhere I want to have it right on. And quickly before anything, I just want to go to the top and click on what I've just dragged in. I'm gonna have to say no line. So I'm gonna open this particular place up, click right here and go to eyedropper. So I'm gonna pick this color, and now I have the color for this. So what I'm going to do next is for me to some kind of double this. So I have this. So what I'm going to do next now is for me to change this one to something like black color. So I want to send this to back. So I'm going to click on send to back. No, it's not gonna work. It's gonna go behind this. I don't want it to go behind this, so Ctrl-Z to bring it back. Instead, click on this one and say bring to front. So this one can actually disappear behind it right now. I can move it, move it, move it, move it, keep moving it. And I'm gonna have it to appear a little bit, and I just want something little dark, you know, something like this. Be cool for me. So what I'm gonna do next is for me to just copy this again. So this time around I can move this away from here. Now I'm gonna have this right here. So resize it and make sure you have something that satiates you to cover up this particular part here. And I'm gonna double it again, move this one right here. I'm gonna have this right here. Something like this. So just copy this and have this right here. So right now I can duplicate this and have it for this part. I'm gonna drag it to this end. Now, beautiful. So next is I'm going to some kind of double this. I'm gonna bring it right here. Bring it down and have it opened up to this level. So once you've gotten this down, this is beautiful. We are almost right there. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to change the color to everything we have right here right now. So you can select this and you can bring this right here and choose the color you want to have for it. Let us go with this kind of color. This is what it is. So what you can do next right now is to make sure you go to home and your format painter, tap it and change those parts. Can you see this right now? So right here, I'm not going to use this color the way it is right now. So what I'm going to use now is actually come into this particular gradient fill and select it. I'm going to take off the stops I have for it. I've taken off the stops and I'm going to have to move this and get this one right here. So I'm going to move this one here, and now I have to change the color to be the same thing with the color I've used. Can you see that right now? So for this one right here, I just want to go for the transparency. I want to some kind of reduce it, and I want to have something like this. So this is what I want to have, just something like this, the way it looks right now. But I'm not very much done from here. If I go to the previous one and show you what I've done right here, it looks just like this. How can we create something that looks like this? Okay, let's do it. So coming back here right now, so we are right here. I'm clicking on this, I'm doubling this. So I'm changing the color of this to something that looks just like this color. So once I'm done doing that, I have to size it to be the same size. I have to now click on this now to do something much more different. But what I'm going to do is just to click on the one beneath it, right click and make sure you bring to front. So right now I can now control how I want this one to look right on it. Can you see? You can move it inside and make sure it appears a bit, and this is what I want to get. So I've just gotten the kind of design I want. I can just proceed to this one, double it and choose the same color for it. Already we have the color right here, and you can make sure you have them on the same level and make sure you bring this one to front, and you can click back right on this one and move it inside a little bit until you are satisfied with what you have, and just bring this one out a little bit, just like this. Now that you've gotten this right, I'm going to come right here and do the same thing I've done to this. So double this, and now because we are dealing with cancellation, I'm going to use this for cancellation. So we just have to make sure this one go a bit, just bring this forward. And before we do anything right here, I just want to make sure I reduce it from here a bit. So now we can just touch this and make sure we take it, we move it inside. So now we can bring this down and just check this out. Can you see it right now? So here is gonna be a little bit different. What I'm gonna do is just to make sure I get this. But before we do this, we just have to change the color to this, to one single color first. And it's gonna be this color. So once I've gotten this color, I'm gonna resize this. I'm gonna have something like this. So it's gonna be the same edge. So once I've done this, I wanna actually make sure I divide it and have this particular central area right here. So I'm gonna have to shift this. Here we've gotten that. Can you see that? You have small red that actually rolled it for you. So we'll release it. So right now I'm gonna have to click on this and reduce this. So once I've reduced this, I'm gonna have to make sure this one goes inside it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no problem with this. We can bring it down a bit. So now I'm gonna check this. And I'm gonna have to make sure right click and bring this one to front. Now if I click on this, I'm gonna take it up. So once it appears a little bit, what I'm gonna do right now is to make sure I just make this one go. And I do this. I bring it out a little bit right here. So I'm gonna have to duplicate this and I have the other one out, right? So what I'm gonna do right now, this one here, if I Ctrl Z, now I'm changing this color. I'm picking this color for it. I've changed it. So now I can now double this and I have this color changed to this now. So it is time for we to have this right here. And what can we do to have this right here? Is for we to some kind of like, now bring this one to front once again. So it now leaves us with this. So click on the one beneath it and make sure you move it inside until you have almost the same thing. That was how I just got this created. Can you see it right now? This is awesome. So if you want to actually apply the same thing right here, all you have to do is to Ctrl D, double it, and now we can go to this particular part right here and have the color change to whatever we want to change the color to, maybe this. So right now we can some kind of match it together. So it's centralized. So once we've done that, we can now click on this one and bring this one to the top level, bring to front, and we select this and send it and move it and make sure it shows up a little bit. And we can even do this and have this kind of effect right on it. You can do any designs that favors your hotel. So I think we are almost done from here. So we're gonna come back once again because I can come back right here multiple times to make sure I am very satisfied with what I have. If you look at it now, I don't like this. This one comes out very well, but this one does not come out the way I feel like, right? What am I gonna do? So now I am actually going to remove this, but before I do that, I can duplicate this in case I want to have to make any changes. So duplicate this, and I'm working on this one. I'm done. Take this off. We have this. So I'm going to have to click on this and actually send this back. So I'm going to have this. I'm going to have to make sure I bring this once again. Just once, tap it once and send this particular one back again. And now we have something similar to this. What about this? This is how I used to create my, template in PowerPoint. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to go to File, and now we can go ahead and say Export. So you have different ways to export this. Click on Change File Type, and from there you have PNG, you have JPEG, and if you want to go to some other file type, you can double click on this, and it's going to come and you choose this and click on any. This is PNG, JPEG, this is GIF, so I'm going to use this one for now. And here I'm going to have to go ahead and just say templates lesson. So click on OK and just this one alone. So now we can now go back to the one we are creating, which is this particular one right here. And what we have to do is to click on this part where it says format your report page. And now we can see canvas background. Go ahead and click on that and click on browse image. So clicking on browse image will give us these images. And the one we've just created is this particular one right here, which is template lesson. So if I double click on it right now, we can't find it. What is going on? It was because the transparency is on 100% and we have to bring it to 0. This is what we have as the final result. So if you look at it, we have taken this data and we have transformed it into something better than what it is. So we are about to create something that looks just like this. Can you see the difference we have between this one right now and this one is the caption we have to explain more in detail what every single visual is and how it can actually help the hotel to make final decision. So are you ready to take this to the next level? Let's do it. So we want to make the dashboard to look explanatory. When somebody opened the dashboard, we want it to tell story and to tell the person who opened it what the dashboard is all about at the first glance. And that is what is going to bring us to this particular header, which says Hotel Summer Booking Dashboard, deep insight on July and August 2016. Right? Let us see how we can actually create something like this. So going back to this particular part right now, here we go. So what we can do is to actually insert a text box. Inside this particular text box, I'm going to bring it up to this level, open it up to this end, and I'm going to have to just reduce the height. And next is for we to type in whatever I want to type in right here like this. And I'm going to have to make this let us use 24. So something like this will be very cool. I'm going to centralize this. So from here, I have to highlight from here and make sure I use 28 and I'm going to make it bolder. So now that we've gotten this, we cannot see it on the background. What we can do right now is to make sure we remove the background from the text. And I'm going to come right to this particular effect and we're going to turn this off. It doesn't really help us because the text goes into the background. So what we can do is to actually control it to highlight it. If you want to, whatever you do right on it to have effect on it, you have to put it on highlight or select it. So go right here and change the color to white. Now we can see it better. Can you see what I've done? So you can definitely choose to bring this and centralize it in the middle and all of that. So I just want to put this a little bit out of focus. What I'm going to do right now, I just want to make sure I select this color for it. That is going to change how it looks. So this one is more brighter than this. So we've just gotten this created. Beautiful, huh? So let us come right here and see what is going on. So if I actually go ahead and select a card, this card has been selected. What I'm going to do on this card right now is this. Remember, if I have this card selected and I have this particular place opened, already we have a filter right applied on this card. Despite that we have not some kind of dropped any measure or dimension right on it, the page filter is right on it, which is the hotel resort and as well the year 2016 right here. Okay. Now that we've done that, the next thing we're going to do right now is to actually open this particular measure up and pick where we have the revenue lost. Now, here we go. Now, after we might have gotten this, what we want to do right now, we want to limit this particular revenue lost to July and August. We're just going to create something with this, right? Yes, of course. So clicking back right here right now, I'm going to go right, click right here. And this is going to affect this visual alone. And you know what to do, you know where to have this particular measure right on to actually work. So we just have to bring the month and make sure it's actually filter on this visual. So I'm going to bring my month and have it drop down right here. And quickly I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to select just July and August. that is where we're gonna have this. So right now, this gives us how much we've lost between July and August this summer season. So this is what we're going to use to actually create something just like this. We have right here. So let us proceed and go back to here. So I'm going to click on this. So come right here. Now we can shut this down. So I want to go to callout. Let us go right here, and I'm gonna put this one on 18, and I want to change it from this particular font family to this one. Yeah, exactly. So we want to change the color to match this because we'll actually lose this revenue. So now we can close this, and now we can turn this off. So quickly we can just go ahead and actually, turn off the background for it, and we quickly go ahead and have this right here. Okay, let me just leave this right here right now. I'm not gonna do this from the scratch, right from the scratch. All I just have to do is to go to the previous one and explain to you why I made that decision or why I said what I've said. So now, what I've written right here now is as a result of me looking at the chart itself and see where we have the highest revenue. So when we look at the chart, we have our highest revenue to fall between July and August. So, and now on the caption right here, it says there is increase, or there is an increase in revenue. We can actually have "and" right here. So there is an increase in revenue in July and August, but also lost to cancellation. Do you know why I did that? So if you look at this particular same July and August, we have the highest cancellation to fall between these particular 2 months. So that was why I made this decision. And I actually went ahead and filtered how many cancellation we have between July and August and actually brought it forward right here. And I say $987,000 were lost to cancellation in July and August. So now whoever looked at this without hovering over to see what is going on and oil everything, or even taking it on a focus mode to actually look detail into what the chart is actually talking about, will definitely be able to tell how much we've lost in those particular peak month for us. Can you see that? So now I've just explained to you what this is all about. So I'm just going to go ahead right now and copy from here, or still can just make sure I Ctrl+C to copy this, and I want to go to the previous one, so to the current one we are creating, and have it some kind of pasted right here with the formatting. So we can now take this one and have it right here. This is what we can concatenate using docs with this, but the problem is that when we did that, we cannot some kind of highlight it on the kind of color I want to use for it. So for that, I have to just make it this way. Now that you've understood how I just got that created, we don't think the same, and even though if we think something similar, the way we're gonna put it down when it comes to writing will be different. So you can always some kind of try as much as you could to come up with your own way of actually typing this or writing or making this decision. So your caption might be different than mine, but this is the best way I know how to explain what the chart tells the business or the hotel. So the next one is to actually have this right here. So now we've just gotten this right here. So let us come to this particular part where we have the average rate and cancellation by month. So going back to the chart itself, now I'm lazy this time around. I should have done this from the scratch, but there is no point in doing it from the scratch once we can go through and understand what we've done right here. So right now, let us put this on view. So what we can see right here when we just look at this is actually this. So good news, the average daily rate is higher in July and August with low cancellation. We have higher cancellation in January, March and November, which is this particular month right here, this month right here, and as well this month right here. Those are places where we have the highest cancellation. Our focused month itself, we do not have much cancellation. Despite that we have the average daily rate to be very high, it does not affect our cancellation. It could be a kudos to the hotel that we did well in that particular month. So right now this is something positive, so great. So we can go back right here. Now that we've understood, if you're actually making your own dashboard, you can always do this by actually bringing your own insight based on putting your own writing on top of this to actually explain detail what this particular chart is all about. Okay, let us see the next one, right? And that is going to be this particular one right here. So what is it talking about? So we have to put it on view, on very full focus right now for we to get the insight of what it is that we want. So here we go. Now this is cancellation by weekdays. So where we have the highest cancellation, we have 416 cancellation on Monday of August and July. So we have under highest cancellation to be 351 cancellation on Saturday of July and the same August that we actually centralize our analysis right on in 2016. So which means we always have this particular cancellation to occur between those two weekdays and all that. So we now said higher cancellation falls between Monday and Saturday. This is a very good decision. So the next one is going to be those particular ones right here where we actually Google to see what this particular lead time is all about when it comes to a hotel booking. So now if we look at this particular two charts right here we have a cancellation percentage on 0 to 30 days booking and check-in, and we have the average daily to be high. The average daily rate is high, and we don't know, maybe it was the average daily rate that actually affected our highest cancellation, so we don't really know that. So we now said summer bookings within 30 days have high cancellation. It might be affected by the high average daily rate. So this can actually prompt the hotel manager or whoever is consigned to make decisions for the hotel to feel like, okay, what can we do in the next summer for we to actually do better. Remember, this is actually getting the filter of July and August of 2016 and as well result. So this is what it is that you need to know about this. So we can actually replicate the same thing we have right here for our order pad now for the one we're actually creating. So I'm gonna get this. I want to go back right here. So I'm gonna have this right here, and now we've just gotten this. So now that we've done this, what do you recommend for the organization to do to get better? That is where this is going to come to play. We have to go back here, and now we have recommendation. So we just have to get this away, remove. So now here we go. So we have here to be like our key recommendation. What can we do? It's a question that the organization is actually asking right now. So we now said we can overbook the summer month reservation. With that, we can reduce cancellation. So once we overbooked, we're gonna have a lot of people coming to our, like through ads, we can get our hotel to be well known, and people are gonna book because it's summer vacation. People are coming into the country, they want to book for hotels, and we get them to book for more, and it's gonna reduce our cancellation rate and stuff like that. I'm gonna actually still come right here and look at what we've actually talked about right here, that maybe the higher average daily rate is affecting our business. That was why we're having the cancellation. We might want to consider reducing the average daily rate right here. And now coming down right here right now, focus more on the booking between 0 to 30 days during the summer period, July and August. Now if you come right here right now, we have here 0 to 30 to have the highest percentage of cancellation, which means we're having a lot of bookings, but it's affecting us because we have highest cancellation. If we can actually be very positive with what is going on right here, to look in detail and see what we can do to solve the problem of cancellation right now, we're going to make a lot of booking or reservation in this particular summertime. And the last but not least is actually reduce the average daily rate. Reducing the average daily rate might reduce cancellation, so which means we have problem between here and here right now. So whatever happens here might actually has anything to do with what is here, because the average daily rate is high, so it might have some effect, right? But right here, when we look at this particular part, what we actually sense is that the average daily rate is high and the cancellation rate is high in the same month. So now, can you see what we've done? So this would definitely make the end user or the hotel manager to be thinking like, okay, we've just gotten this recommendation, what can we do? And let's see how we can actually go to work and have this kind of really put up front to the management, and we can deal with it and have something very good come up with. So now we can go ahead and update this particular part right here. So I'm gonna have to paste this right in here, and now we have this. So what is next? We don't really have this kind of design we have right here. So all we have to do for the second time right now, if I want to have something like that, is for me to actually go back to PowerPoint to actually do this. What I can do quickly is just to bring the snippet tool new, and we can actually create this just to here, release it, and now we can go ahead and save this servers, and we can choose to save it at the same spot, and we can pick it from here. We can save and say yes. So we can click on click on this or cancel it, and now we are going to come right to PowerPoint. This is the one we've just created. So let us go ahead and pick it up. Go to insert pictures, this device. So we go to, just go to where, navigate to where you have yes. So we might have it at different place. Don't just follow me verbally. So now we have this. We can resize it on this particular part. We can now resize it. So good to go. So once we've done that, what I'm gonna do right now is to go back, go to pictures, this device. I want to go to download, and from download I think I have this idea. So I just get this picture. So let me show you the site where you can get something like this, a transparent picture or icons like this. It will go to Google, and we have this particular free vector icon. So if I go now, the URL is actually flaticon.com. So with flaticon.com, you're gonna have anything you want. In PNG, you're gonna have some kind of what do I call it? You're gonna have animated icons you can use. So what I just do right now, whatever you're thinking of, you can just type it right here. If I type idea here right now, and I'm gonna hit my enter key, so what I'm gonna have is anything that has to do with idea. Just cancel this, you don't need this. So let's see what we're gonna have. So right now it's coming up. So now you can see what we have right here. So different types of icons will be generated for you. So you just have to pick from those icons you have right here and make use of it. So clicking on any either of them right now will definitely prompt you to download it for free. You don't have to sign up for anything. You can get a PNG, the SVG, whatever you want to get. So click on it and you're going to have it downloaded. That is all. So putting this off away. So now we have this right here. So we can now go ahead and go to insert, and we can click on shapes, and from shapes we can pick this particular text box and drag it right here, and now we can type in this particular box. So key recommendation, So we can crank it up and make it bolder. So let us some kind of stretch it, something like this. So we can take it closer to this. And to actually have something more beautiful, what I'm gonna do right now, I go to insert, go to shapes, I'm gonna pick this line. And before I start to drag the line, what I'm gonna do is to first of all hold my shift key to draw a straight line like this. You see that? That is beautiful. So we've just gotten a straight line drawn. So what I'm gonna do next is for me to some kind of like after this, I'm going to like right click and send this to back. So I can see from here that we're having problem with our text. What can we do now is to some kind of click on this. I can now make sure this one comes right here. But the inner one is actually the one we are having to some kind of shift. What if I move this away? I can delete this. Maybe we don't really have to keep this. It's not really important. Can take it off. It's Ctrl Z. And now we select this. So we can now select this one here. Sorry for that. So you can spend a lot of time here to keep doing this over and over again until you get it right. So once we've done this, the next thing you can do right now is to shift this away if that is what you want, and shift it and go back to your work, and you're gonna have something you really want. So now we can leave it this way. So I'm gonna bring this back to the front. I've just shown you that. So go to insert, and you can click on shapes and take this particular round like shape and just drag it a little, not too much. So here we go. I can now have this right here. So I might decide to keep this right here and just some kind of like bring this format shape. I'm gonna change the color, the fill color, so no line for it. So we double it. I'm gonna keep on that one right here. I'm gonna double it again. I'm gonna make sure this one is right here. So now we have this. What do we do next is for we to come right here. If you want to change this and some kind of increase the width, is your choice. But right now, I just want to give you some kind of head up what you could do. You can just take this one off. We've just gotten this created. So you can just go to File and go to Export. Make sure you actually use the same format. Double click on this, and we use I think we use something like GIF. So now we can see it right here. So you have to replace it and click on Use. Just this one. So if we now go to the dashboard we are creating, all we have to do is to remove this one away from here. I'm gonna have to click, don't click any of the charts or objects, come right here, remove this and replace it with this. Oh, sorry, wrong one. So remove it once again, come back here, and now here is it. So we've gotten it. So the next thing we're gonna do right now is just to make sure we click on this and some kind of have this one moved to match what is here. So I'm not gonna have much time to keep adjusting this, but it's something you can actually deal with. Cancel it. So keep adjusting it until you have what matches and all of that. So now this is just what you can do to have something just like this created. So if you go to the finished one already and compare it to what we have right here right now, we have something much more similar to this. The same story we've told right here is the same story we have right on this one. Remember, I spent a lot of time creating my dashboard, so for that I'm gonna have something very much cool. So this is just an illustration. So we might not have something exactly, but we have to be almost 99.1% close to it, despite the speed in creating this. Ladies and gentlemen, so we have come to the conclusion of this particular video. If you don't have something similar to what I have, maybe it is time for you to some kind of leave a comment and let me know what it is that you want to ask about this, and let's see how we can solve the problem together. So now you've seen what it is that you can do to create a beautiful dashboard to actually, bring what a client wants into the right picture and all of that. So telling story with data is very, very sweet if you can spend a lot of time studying how everything works together. Color, visual, and even the logic behind it, you are going to create something very beautiful and something that would make an organization to make a very clear decision. Good luck on your journey to becoming a very, best analyst. Welcome.